So it turns out that sites built with Lovable.dev are not seen properly by Google, and this presents a really big problem, especially if you're trying to rank for organic keywords on Google. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we can fix that on an existing Lovable build. Okay, so first off, I'm going to explain to you the problem. So this is one of my sites that we're going to fix today, marinecountygolf.com. It's just a directory that I spun up in 2 hours because I saw an opportunity on Ahrefs to rank for this keyword. Anyways, this is what comes up when I simulate the SEO results for this site. It's not looking good. So how are we going to fix this and why is this happening? Okay, without diving too much into the technical parts of this, I want to just give a quick overview of the problem, which is Lovable uses Vite and React, and it renders on the client side instead of the server side. So basically, Google can only see blank pages instead of having all of your keywords up front. That's honestly not the best explanation for it, but that's why I wrote this guide that I'm going to put in the description below if you want to understand from a more technical perspective why exactly this is happening. But anyways, what we're going to do is get this site to render with static site generation. So the reason I even came across this problem is because of some chatter on X and within the YouTube community, which then led me to find this video, which has been so helpful. So thank you to Ben for this video and for this prompt that we're going to be using. So I will also link this video below so you can go check it out. He explains it a lot better than I am right now, but I think my purpose of showing you how to do this is to actually walk through how I'm going to apply it to one of my Lovable builds that I also deploy on Vercel. So that's one difference between Ben's example and my example is he uses Netlify to deploy, and then I'm going to use Vercel to deploy. So the prompt is also here in his description, so I'll also link that one below. I also just wanted to point out this tool, which is called validator.schema.org. I'll also link it below. And you can put in your site and you can see how the schema is rendering, how it's shown to Google. And this is our problem here that we're going to be changing. It says that the body of the website is just root instead of actually having the keywords here in the HTML. So by the end of this video, this is what's going to be changing. So this is another way for you to run a test on this. Okay, so this is Ben's prompt that you will just copy, and then we'll paste this directly into Lovable. Okay, so just going to go ahead and paste this in and press enter. And now this should run for a little while. So as it's doing that, I'm just going to mention that I did change at least 3 sites now over to static site generation. And all of those also had these same problems because they were built originally with Lovable, which uses Vite and React. And although that's really great for apps, it's not ideal if you are trying to prioritize SEO and ranking on Google, which most people probably are, especially with directories. Okay, so in that script, in that prompt that we just entered, we explicitly asked to manually update the package.json. So let's go into our code by pressing dev mode here. We'll go into package.json. This is the line that we're looking for. So I found it right here, 6 through 11. And we're going to replace this with this script. So I'm going to copy it over and I am going to paste that in, and then we'll save this file. Okay, now that that has been updated, I'm getting a build error. So I'm just going to press try to fix it. Okay, so it looks like I put in an extra comma. So I'm going to go back to that and just delete that comma. Okay, I'll press save here. It says it resolved it. Okay, I just tried to publish it and I got this huge error. So let's see. I'm just going to say to Lovable, what does this mean? Help me debug this. Okay, So I put in an error that it came up with, and it says, I can see the issue in your SSG setup. The error is occurring during the pre-rendering phase because the SEO.tsx component is trying to access window.location.origin, but window is not defined during server-side rendering. This is something that I have run into before also in trying to fix these sites. It does claim that it has fixed it for me. So I'm going to try to update the site and see if it's successful. Okay, it says it's published. So now I'm going to refresh the page and go back to the Google crawler simulator. Okay, let's run it again. Great. It was actually pretty successful. I don't think I have any H2 tags, which is definitely something I should fix. Now I can see where my biggest gaps are with SEO optimization. But as you can see, it did actually resolve this error. And now I have static site generation for my Lovable site. So you can see the keywords still says loading for H3 headings, which is interesting. You can see my on-page links. Let's go check out the schema markup validator too. Okay, so I'm going to press run new test. Okay, so you can see all of this here now. It's going to go on for quite a ways, but you can see there's actually the keywords in the HTML now. And so that's what we were trying to do. Okay, great. Now that we have static site generation, Google can immediately see everything on my site. Here are my next steps for monitoring all of the improvements now that I do have static site generation. Thanks again to Ben for sharing that prompt and flagging this issue. Please let me know if you have any questions or need help debugging along the way. I do want to note that I transferred a lot of my React builds into Cursor and started building off of them there. Those projects are a lot bigger than the example I just provided you in Lovable, which is a really, really minimal build with not a lot of features and not a lot of keywords, as you saw. And so I definitely ran into a lot more trouble with my Cursor builds, and it took a lot longer to figure out how to actually get this done. But all of them were successful after a lot of trial and error and persistence and debugging. So if you need any help with that, please let me know in the comments and I'd be happy to help you with a more advanced build too. Also, it's been a while since I made my last video, so I have a lot to update people on if you're looking for more resources for directory building. I'm going to leave some resources below that I've created, including a playbook for how to create directories with AI. And I have a full-fledged course now from A to Z on how I build directories using AI. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.